Very awesome.
That actually sounds amazing.
They're really good.
Can you hear me, guys?
Cool.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello.
Who else is here there's a name I don't... Eduardo Tavitas. Who's that?
That's Darking.
Yep.
Oh, Darking. What's up, dude?
Hello, Justin.
Oh my god. All right, I quit.
He was already in on the meme. All right, we're
It's
live. We
Friday.
can host it now.
All right. Okay, I see it. Cool. Awesome.
And then turn on your camera. And then I can add all these other nice gentlemen in. Darking, you're a big Wikipedia guy. Maybe you'll have to update my Wikipedia.
Oh, you have one. I wasn't even aware.
Yeah, it needs to be updated though. It says I only have 2 cats. I have 4 cats now. So that's super important that we get that updated.
Maybe I just need to scoot.
All right, let me get you guys added in here. Your pretty faces. And then we'll get going.
Oh, good lord.
No attitude.
You have to forgive my setup. It's not ideal yet. I'm still working. I just moved everything, so.
Yeah, me too.
I have to click accept to let you guys show video? That's weird.
You're already showing video now.
No, but it's them.
Who's them?
It just said to see you guys this video, I have to click some weird accept button. I don't use Skype. I moved over to Discord and I never looked back.
Unfortunately, Discord isn't perfect for these types of talk shows yet. There's still little integration issues, but hopefully soon.
Yeah. So I'm kind of jealous of Darking's green walls. I wish my walls were green.
Right? I bet if you streamed, that would look sick. Like we would just have like your bookcase in the background. Like that would actually be pretty dope.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? I'm actually jealous of your background because you can actually do this with it. This is my actual wall. I'm not having anything.
I know.
like,
So all you gotta do is
fancy.
back your computer up to it,
Yeah.
throw some lights on, you're good to go.
Exactly. I just backed myself into a corner. You know, I got the couch here. I can take a nap. You know, and still watch StarCraft here. Like, there's a big screen over there, but I mean, you know, it's easier to watch on the computer.
Excellent. Now I'm missing is the computer.
Green walls are the future. That's what Daunted said.
True facts. Of
Hopefully
life.
it's my future, but I'm renting, so I don't have that option.
Don't paint the walls yet, then. Yeah, not a good idea.
Like, why is one wall green in one room?
Accent wall.
Yeah, I promise you there's a good reason for it.
Right. All right. Well, let's get started here. So the last show was about a month ago. We had it on February 1st. So today is April 2nd or 3rd, depending on your time zone. Right, Eddie?
Yeah, April 3rd in the morning for me here. Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Good morning.
So did you guys all have like a happy Easter / April Fool's Day? Or you guys have any stories to share?
Well, here in Mexico we don't have neither Easter nor April Fool, so.
What? You don't
Yeah,
have,
it was
wait. You don't have Easter?
How do you not have Easter?
Oh, there is no Easter in Mexico.
I find that hard to believe with how religious Mexico is.
I don't know.
Like I know
That's
it
strange.
wouldn't be like Easter bunnies and like that Easter, but it would still be like our Lord and Savior was resurrected today, Easter.
I mean, we have something called the Holy Week, but not
Okay.
Easter per se. It is the whole week, not only one day.
Okay.
Huh.
Okay, well that's okay. There was something though, but it wasn't Easter.
That is something.
Okay, that's fair. Eddie, what did you do?
I worked every day, all 4 days of Easter, and twice on Saturday. So it wasn't a fun Easter for me, but it's all right. Good money.
Right.
See, okay, in Australia they have all 4 days of Easter. I'm guessing you mean Good Friday through Easter Sunday?
Yeah.
It's a long weekend, so we also get Monday public holiday as well.
Jesus.
Here
Oh,
we got
nice.
Friday, but not Monday. Oh, well, depends on where you work. But most people got Friday only.
Yeah,
Okay,
we just got Sunday off. That was it.
Sunday.
Yep. So living the rough life.
Most people would have the 4 days here, but not in my industry. Unfortunately, I have to
Right.
work it all. But that's how it goes.
But like you
Wasn't too
said,
bad.
But like you said, good money. So there is a trade off. All right, Jordan, what did you do? Here, let me update this. I actually wrote just Justin. My bad.
Yeah, and you didn't put the X's. But I wasn't gonna say nothing.
Well, I don't care about the X's. You're just Jordan.
Okay, that works for me too. Girlfriend was like, "Hey, do you want to go to church with me and my family?" And I was like, "Yes, I want your family to like me. We've been together 3 years." And then she was like, "Oh, BT Dubs sunrise service. You got to be there at 7, and it's all the way across town."
Ripperino, Pepperino.
Yeah.
And she told you
And,
that like at 11 o'clock, right?
No, she gave me enough time. It was just that my schedule with streaming and casting, it generally has me up till about 1 a.m. or later.
Right.
Just because that's my waking hours, and I generally sleep until noon, much to the behest of my 9 to 5 working roommates. So yeah, it was tough to get up, but she was like, "Yeah, you can nap right after service is done." I was like, "All right, cool." So yeah,
Nice.
that's what I did.
Any pranks then for April Fools? Anything happened to you guys? Any office tricks? Any office jokes?
Oh, I pulled one.
What did you do?
I looked at my girlfriend in her eyes and I said, "Dear, I have something to tell you. I'm not sure you're gonna take it." She's like, "What is it?" I was like, "I'm pregnant." But she didn't believe me.
Oh, dang.
I don't think I was very convincing.
Next year, what you should try is like go for a walk and then like stop her and then like get down on
No,
one
no,
knee and then tie your shoe.
Okay, that would have been simultaneously better and worse than what I
That is how
actually
he
did.
became single.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
that was how my relationship.
It would have been worth it. Eddie, yeah, anything happened to you or no?
Nah, nothing special. Nothing
Nothing
special.
special. Okay. Yeah, I just did. I tweeted out that we had signed Zest, which clearly was a joke, right?
I honestly, it took me an hour or two to realize that because I was like, I saw it, I was racking my brain, I was like, how did he manage to get Zest? Oh my god!
Yeah, a lot of people.
And then I thought about it.
I would say 99% of people knew that was just like a troll. Obviously, like it was the day and stuff, and then about 0.1% people were mad about it and were like, "How dare you? That's defamation, and you could go to jail for this," and yada yada. I was like, "All right, you guys,
Really?
you guys just need to calm down. Like it was a joke. It's April Fool's Day. Like I talked to Zest about it. Like he didn't care. Like he thought it was funny. Like it doesn't matter. Like
Did you
I
talk
think
to him
they
before or after?
Well, I talked to him after, but still.
Okay.
But no, because I knew he wouldn't care. Like, and also he doesn't even
Can
have.
you imagine
He also
if-
doesn't even have
Can you
Twitter.
imagine if he thought it was real?
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna say I haven't talked to him about it before, you know, but
He's like, "Hey, boss, when do I start?"
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. Where's that paycheck?
Yeah,
We could do it, but
that would have been the better response from him.
right. Send that contract over right now. We'll get that taken care of. But
You're just like, I hope this is okay. He sends you his PayPal email.
yeah, but it was just in all good fun, and obviously, and then like Crank, I guess, was like, you shouldn't do that and whatever. And out of respect, I just took it down. I didn't want anyone to think it was real. And then I did a follow up, just said, you know, of course, that was an April Fool's joke, but Zest is still available. So hopefully that generated some buzz though to get some people thinking like, oh yeah, Zest is a good pickup. I forget Zest is available. So maybe that, jogs someone's memory and hopefully someone will offer Zest a contract. So hopefully it worked out in both of our benefits. I got the laugh out of it, and hopefully he gets a job out of it. So
Yeah, a bit of harmless fun.
yep. But yeah, let's go ahead and let's just introduce everyone in case some of the viewers aren't familiar with everyone. So obviously you know me, I'm the host. Do this once a month with Eddie. Eddie, who is the big boss man with OSC. And then you may know Jordan too, as he does some casting on this channel. Does a couple different tournaments a month. Or a week, I guess, rather, right?
Yeah, I'm at 2 a week right now.
2 a week, there we go. And then someone who you may not know, but you've probably seen his name is Darking. So welcome, man. If you don't know,
Hello, everyone.
he's a big member in the Latin American community, and he also is an editor for Liquipedia. Does a lot of work with Liquipedia, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
What else can you tell us about you?
Well, what can I say? I'm Mexican, so I can speak Spanish, obviously.
Well, that would be
years
more.
old. Yes, it is. 30 years old. I do programming stuff, and I'm a volunteer staff for Wikipedia, which is what I mostly done for this scene.
Which that's a very underrated position. Obviously, you do that, and do stuff for Wikipedia, and I know that literally everyone that uses Wikipedia appreciates that, even though they might not realize that there's people hard at work behind the scenes.
Yes, there is, but it's pretty cool when people notice because every now and then you get things like this.
Oh, the coin, nice.
Yes,
I wish
I got it last week.
I wish I would have got one of those. Those look sick.
Oh man, how could you not?
I don't know, Blizzard.
Time to make some calls.
I know. Maybe I got to get David Kim on the phone. Maybe mine got lost in the mail. I don't know. Eddie, did you sign for mine? Maybe.
I'll see what I can do.
Okay.
I think they're still sending a lot out, So,
Yeah.
But it is a fantastic recognition that they've done this, and obviously Darking, an unsung hero, does a lot of great work. I can testify to that. So yeah,
absolutely.
A lot of great community members out there, and Darking's one of them.
Absolutely. Well, let's get started with some general news. And I actually wanted to start with something that was confirmed today, which was there's going to be a new talk show between In Control and Artosis. It's called The Pylon Show. It'll air once a week. I think it starts next week, I believe. And don't quote me on that. I don't know the day, but they confirmed that it is happening. That's a real thing. It wasn't an April Fool's Day thing, but they're apparently going to do like a weekly show talking about like StarCraft 2, Brood War, and stuff. So I think that'll be pretty cool for the community. Obviously, there are some other shows, but I think it's cool that we have 2 returning members, I guess, of the State of the Game, and obviously 2 big people within the scene.
Yeah, cool. I haven't actually looked at Reddit today, so there we go. That'll be interesting because I don't think there's a lot of coverage for, certainly in talk shows, of Brood War Remastered. So if they're going to focus on that a bit.
Oh yeah, right.
I mean, knowing both of them, yeah, it'll probably be 90% Brood War, and then like we'll sprinkle in some SC2 here and there. So, another general news, we did have the, speaking of Darking's Coin, we did have the SC2 20th year celebration. So StarCraft 2 turned 20. We had the confetti pops in game, which I thought was pretty cool. So I thought that was cool for 2 reasons. Someone on Reddit had actually pointed out one of the reasons why that was interesting is because moving forward with the Olympics, right? Like not having blood in the game makes that much more family friendly, right? Because it's not as violent. It's confetti. Right, there's no blood.
Yeah.
So I didn't think about that, but I was like, actually, that is a very good point. Even though that's something we might think of just as like a silly, it doesn't mean anything. But I think that actually is important. So.
Sorry, I thought there was a pause. I was casting on Sunday, and I was talking with my co-caster about it, and I was like, yeah, we can just. He said he wants that as like a skin, like something you could purchase, like the confetti to have it permanently.
Yeah, toggle.
And I was like, yeah, and I was joking around. It was like the reduced violence option could be yes, no, or confetti.
No, I like that. I think that would be actually really cool. Like I said, for like, especially if maybe you have younger kids and you want to expose them to it, but you're worried about maybe this does seem a little too violent. Turn that on, make it fun. So I think it's a pretty cool idea. And yeah, obviously they did a lot of great things. We had, the anniversary celebration here. We had, the Twitch rivals going on. We had portraits. There's just so many things happening. It's crazy. It was a crazy week to try to watch everything, right? Between like Nation Wars, which we'll talk about here in a little bit, and like Rivals, and then the anniversary stream with all the guys casting and stuff. And man, there's so much happened. It was crazy.
Drops and all that as well was huge for Twitch.
Yeah, I didn't get any except for Bob Toss. I'm kind of upset. That was the only one that I ended up getting.
Yeah, I made sure to stream from my own channel like the very first day that drops happened.
Yeah.
And I saw my viewership just that day, like concurrent viewership, more than double from what it normally was, just because drops. Because I made sure to have them enabled right out of the gate.
Right. Well, then we also saw the one issue of where like the ESL channel, people were just watching that, so they could, and like because at first it was nice because like different people were hosting different people, and like it was really getting spread around, right? But then eventually everyone just kind of wound up watching ESL because it's on 24 hours. And then no one was getting off of it because they're just looking for drops. But that's okay. I mean, it's still attention. It's still, brought StarCraft higher up on the Twitch leaderboard. So it got us more clicks. I guarantee that for sure. More people decided to check it out that week. than in weeks past. So, but yeah, just so many cool things, and then we obviously like so many funny moments. You guys will have to obviously go back to watch some of the funny things, obviously, that happened during during the casting of the free for alls and everything. And I thought it was cool that they invited a bunch of different people out, like a Butchery Zelda getting to go, and Katz was there, Rhett was there, who actually we found out signed with Qualash and is actually playing professionally again, which is really exciting. So I'm super excited to watch him. I mean, someone who, obviously from the old days was very well known. So I think that's a really cool opportunity for him and for the scene.
Yeah, I think Europe could do with a few more Zergs, so it's a great outcome. Nah, it's good to see returning players always, and they had some guests there like Idra, Huck, all these guys coming back. So I didn't actually get to watch the streams, but I think there was great viewership, and it had a really good vibe, a good community laid back sort of vibe. I think there was a thread on Reddit about it, maybe from Cyan Esports, just about the way they approached the whole weekend and celebration. So it was really well done.
Well, I mean, to be fair, it would be pretty hard to professionally cast all of that crap for that long, right? Like them standing up, like I doubt that they would even. It was probably like couches or no stream. Like I'll just pass. Like, they would have been flying Jordan out to do it if he would have had to, stood the whole time and wore like a suit to do it.
Oh, I would have.
I know.
Just
That's
saying.
what I'm saying. So, but no, it was still super fun. I agree. The chill and relaxed, feel of those things is always really fun. It's kind of like a home story cup, really enjoyable for the community to watch.
And when you think about it, 20 years, that's huge in esports. A great legacy that I think just going to continue onwards. So, well done, Blizzard.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully we see some more announcements here pretty soon. I know that there's some other behind the scenes stuff kind of, that they have working and stuff. And there was also kind of like a hidden agenda for getting all those other guys together. So we'll have to kind of see what comes from that.
Where are you getting the information on the hidden agenda? Do you think this is another summit?
No, it's confidential. I can't. No.
Oh, so
I
you
know,
have insider information.
I literally don't know. But I'm just thinking, like, with all the people that were there and like having Tim Morton there and stuff, like, I'm sure it wasn't all just for like SC220 and like for that event. I'm sure there was other discussions that happened.
Okay.
Like, I would almost guarantee it. Like, it would just seem like a waste to gather everyone like that and not do something, as far as like getting thoughts and whatnot. So I'm sure whether it was just like a dinner where everyone went out and they all discussed it or what, but I'm sure that there was something discussed. And I know Blizzard's always got something planned, so it's a pretty safe bet that something was talked about that we don't know about that will be coming. Because Blizzard's very good at doing that to us, right? Like announcing of the announcement, like how everyone that was at the community, someone was like, "Can't tell you guys what's coming, but you're gonna like it." And everyone's like, well, "What is it?" "I can't tell you, but it's coming." Like, so you're announcing an announcement. Yes.
Yeah.
But I can't tell you what it is.
Typical startup fashion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's all I can tell you. So, but no, like I said, I'm just sure that it was something like that. In other news, since we haven't talked about it on this show, Dank Shrine Pro disbanded my team and actually became Scythe Esports. We have a full roster now of quite a few players. One of our players is a Nation Wars Scythe playing for Norway, so he is Scythe. So the equivalent of the meme equivalent of Moon, but for StarCraft.
He'll have to be captain, yeah, surely.
Clearly, well, he's the mascot.
Well, you know how the Dark Templar weapon actually looks like a stick with a scythe on either ends?
Right.
And he joined the team that was formerly Dank Shrine, whose T-shirt that I can see in the background of our Netty screen has that same weapon, Scythe.
Exactly.
So I'll have to buy a new shirt. Is this what I'm hearing?
Yeah, exactly.
No, now it's a collector's item. You can't get rid of it.
Ah, yes.
It's only going to go up in value from here.
Yeah. Exactly. But yeah, so like I said, so Dank Shrine Pro is no more, but in its return, Scythe Esports. So, and things are going well. We got our first sponsor with Manatee.gg, which is a apparel manufacturer out of Germany. So they put together our jerseys for us. So those are coming soon. And then we'll actually have a team story. So if you'd like, you can actually buy like the jerseys and stuff. We'll have like soft shell jackets and like snapback hats and stuff like that. All the normal stuff. And then we still have like our merch store like on Teespring for all the just the regular T-shirts and hoodies and stuff because those guys do a good job for us as far as that goes. So, but yeah, just something cool. I just felt like I wasn't doing enough, and I just wanted to do more. So I was like, okay, well, I already kind of have a team. Like, I might as well just make a team. So, yeah, that's literally that was how hard that thought process was. Like, well, I'm already kind of doing this. Like, might as well just pull the trigger and just do the whole thing. So
Yeah, diversitize the brand more. Like you got your
Yeah.
talk show, all this sort of stuff. You package into sponsors, and you can grow both. I think that's a smart way to do it, and it helps support the players that you have. So nice.
yeah, and you can check out our website at scythesports.com. I just linked it in the chat. That is a working link, and you can kind of check it out. So obviously we're a StarCraft team, and then we're also looking for Rocket League teams right now. We're trying to put something together with that. And then over the weekend I had a Dutch COD team approach me for sponsorship, but it was for like a tournament that happened like today, and I was like, you kind of like sprung that on me way too soon for me to even think about this. But
Yeah.
let me know how the results go, and we can talk when you're done. But like at this point, I'm gonna have to say no, just because I don't know shit about Call of Duty right now at this point, especially competitive. And B, it's like in 2 days, so no, I'm not gonna give you like 200 euros for the entry fee. I'm sorry. So, but that's cool. It was cool just being approached, I guess, right? Like just having someone be like, "Hey, will you give us money?" And I'm like, "No, but I appreciate you asking for it." So, but yeah, anyway, so yeah, kind of cool stuff. But you know, I don't know. I just wanted to do more like for StarCraft 2 and like more in esports, and I know that that's just kind of like what I want to do. So you gotta start somewhere. So I feel like this is as good of any spot to start. But yeah, enough about me. Let's talk about you guys. Actually, let's talk about Nation Wars. That's really cool. Let's take a look at the Nation Wars bracket. So we had China versus Italy, which who thought the entire nation of China versus one spaghetti boy, right? And the spaghetti boy was right. Can I say the great thing to come out of Nation Wars besides these great games was great memes? Like I've been
yeah.
I've been loving that. So
I think the hype videos that different people were creating were the best.
Yeah, hard to go past M Canning.
yeah.
Yeah.
Justin's was pretty good. He had the Tim Hortons hat, rocking that out in Canada, so that was a good one too. I really liked his video. Even if you don't like it, I thought Avilo's rap and then Rifkin's fire backtrack. I thought that in tangent was hilarious. So I at least got I got amusement out of it, which was I think was the whole point.
Well, it was amusing. I'll say that. I'll say that.
But
I was
go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's all I have to say.
There's not much else to say. But
No.
but yeah, looking at the bracket, Norway actually swept Canada, which I don't think without Scarlet, I don't think it was a huge surprise, and I believe that Jig didn't even play that day, if I'm not wrong, or maybe that was the day after. I'm not for sure.
Yeah, they had BioIce instead of Jig, and they revived No Regret.
Right. So they got swept by Snoot. But then actually the Spaghetti Boy came back and brutalized Norway, and actually came out in first, and then Norway had to work at it to actually beat China, which was actually a very close series. China versus Canada, great set, and then Norway versus China, great set as well. But Italy and Norway both coming out on top, so very cool to see. Good games. Then we had Korea versus United Kingdom, which went about as well as you thought it would, even before you saw this.
I mean, you tried. That was count, right?
Yeah, like I think we all kind of knew it was going to happen, right? Like the UK,
Yeah.
got some great personalities, but when you're going up against Korea, that's just not the nation that I would think would be able to sweep Korea. You know, so kind of tough.
I think the UK did well to beat my boys Australia too. I thought we were a good chance there, but they took us out in the qualifying round.
Yeah, I'm not for sure what happened to Australia this year. They usually do a little bit better than that.
Yeah, I think we had our best players. Maybe unlike some teams, certainly probably the strongest three in the region.
Right.
It's maybe outplayed best of ones.
Yeah, that's true. Best of ones are tough. I mean, anything can happen in a best of one. I mean, if you're within 500 MMR, realistically, you can beat someone one time.
Yeah, but they still have a very strong lineup. Obviously, the UK with the Muslim Risky and
Yeah.
their other two players. But yeah, and Mexico special.
Oh my God, special.
Yeah. Special's right. Here, let's go ahead and just show it. So yeah, so then we had Mexico play Taiwan. Taiwan was only able to pull off one game, but then Mexico and Juanito, I don't know what is Juanito. If Reiner is a spaghetti boy, what is Juanito? Is he like the burrito boy?
Oh, I believe the memes call it the one thick boy.
One thick boy. That's right. Yeah, who would win, one thick boy or the entire nation of Korea? So, but yeah, was able to he beat everyone and they revived Innovation. So he beat Innovation twice, and that was even before that Juanito even needed to be revived. So super impressive.
Yeah.
To take that, played just immaculate. So nothing but good games there. And then Taiwan beats United Kingdom, which that was a scrappy. That was a good set. Korea versus Taiwan. They were actually able to take one game. I think Nice was the player that was able to take a game.
Yeah, he beat Innovation.
Yeah, but then in the end, Korea obviously ended up taking that. So our qualifiers so far are Italy, Norway, Mexico, and Korea. And then up next here in the next weeks, we'll have Poland, Ukraine, Finland, Brazil, USA versus the Netherlands, and then Germany versus Sweden. Do you guys want to maybe do a little prediction?
They're tough groups.
Okay, Group C. My heart is with Brazil.
Yeah.
But I cannot honestly say that they will come through with a group with Poland and Finland. Like, it's gonna be an uphill battle with that.
Yeah. I mean, Brazil's got they've got Kellegod, right?
They got Kelashu, and in previous seasons, the other players were doing pretty well. Eric, Terran just recently all killed Bolivia, but it's gonna be pretty tough.
I agree, and then Finland, obviously, you have Sarah, which is like the big, that's the fork in the road, right? And then like one side is like you can go right, which is a nice smooth path, or you can turn left, which is Sarah, and it's just like a 5x5 like brick wall. And it's like you can try to go through this. I don't know how well it's gonna work, but you could try it. So
yeah, but I mean, if Mexico can beat Korea, Brazil can beat Finland. It's possible.
It can happen. Absolutely, it can definitely happen. I mean, Diego's got a good bag of tricks up his sleeve. I mean, I could definitely see them fighting to, even if they don't end up getting out first, and they could definitely get out in second place. So, because remember, both two teams will obviously get through. So I just don't want us to forget that. So even if they happen to lose, they might still be able to get out in the lower bracket. But Poland versus Ukraine, I think that's actually going to be pretty close. Ukraine's got some pretty good players, as does Poland. So I think those will be some good games as well. I think I'm actually going to put my money on Poland, though.
I think Poland.
Yeah,
I think Poland perhaps have the most depth of any country, actually, with Nocio, Eleza, Sol, and Mana all in really top form at the moment. We saw recently, we'll touch on it later, Masters Cup 110, all those guys featured prominently towards the end of the bracket. That's just one example, but really strong, all different races covered. So, yeah.
And then lastly here, we have the USA, Netherlands, and then Germany versus Sweden. Can Neeb all kill the Netherlands? I mean, Avilo.
Yes.
Can
Yes, I believe he can.
Neeb or Avilo?
Neeb.
Okay. I don't know. Jordan, what do you think?
I think that I don't know. It's in the best interest of the popularity of Nation Wars for the USA to field Avilo first, but they didn't do it in their last match. They fielded Neeb first, right?
Well, I think it's based on if Neeb likes the first map, then he plays first. I believe that's their
really.
Strategy. I believe that's the strategy.
I mean, the problem with Avilo is that Avilo plays a very expected game. You know he's going to do late game. You know he's going to do mech.
Yeah.
So it's pretty easy to counter.
If you can, if you can get there. That's the problem, right? With some of those people where it's like, even though you know how they play, like a print F, right, which is like infamous on NA for like cannon rushing. It's like you know it's coming, but can you stop it? So you know it's coming, but are you good enough to like actually hold it off, until it gets to where he wants you, So that's the real question. So we'll see. But I think with Neeb, I think they can win. I don't know if they will though. The Netherlands looks pretty strong right now.
Yeah, but who is the Netherlands' toughest player? Snoot?
No, Snoop.
No, that's Norwegian.
Yeah.
I always get those two confused. Dang.
Netherlands is pretty strong roster this year.
Netherlands
Actually.
is Thermal, Harstem, and Optimus.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that is a pretty strong roster.
With Roddy as the sub, he's gonna like rip off his shirt and like just jump on a computer there in the studio to play.
Do you think that we'll ever get a shirtless Roddy stream? I know they talk about it a lot.
I think he was. I think he wanted an 8-pack first. Like I think he's got a 6er, but he really wanted that 8-pack before we saw him. Like he just was like he's like, if I'm gonna take off my shirt in front of Todd, like I want to make sure that I'm ripped. Like I can't let Todd. I can't let Todd show me up. I think maybe that had something to do with it. I'm not sure. But yeah, and then we have Germany versus Sweden, which I think of all the groups so far is actually going to have like the best games and will be like the closest matches, because Sweden's got such good players and Germany has such good players. I think that one's a really hard one to predict, because I literally think that will come to Game 7, like no matter what, like it will go down to it. Thoughts? Yes, agreed.
Yeah, definitely. I think Sweden might be underrated, if anything.
Yeah, Germany versus Sweden. It's going to be a lot of TVZ, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the entire Swedish squad is Allzerg, and then I know Germany has Hero Marine, right? I don't know who the other two German players are.
Showtime and Dillo.
Yeah.
Okay.
So tough group, man. Tough group. But yeah. I think I'm gonna go with Germany. I just feel it. I have a feeling that the Germans are gonna come through. So I'm gonna say USA, Germany to come through.
I don't know, man. That's really hard. That one match is really hard. It's literally the flip of a coin.
Yeah, it's tough. I know.
It depends on if Showtime is on a good day or not. If Sandster can deliver, if Sorov can do it.
Well, Zanster just qualified for GSL. He's code S.
Yeah, sure, but also not a red. So.
No comment.
There's
I think it's also important probably to try and get that first place so you can avoid someone like Korea, because it shouldn't be first sort of thing. You don't want to be coming up against innovation, sort of do or die. You might go 4-0 sort of thing. So yeah, try and get first place in these groups. Really important.
Korea got second out of their group behind Mexico.
That's exactly right. So it should be second versus
first. So if you wanted to avoid Korea, you'd have to get second.
Maybe. Yeah, actually, you're right.
So you'd have to try and throw a match that you don't think that you can win against who's going to get first in the group, and that seems a little bit stressful.
Too tricky.
Yeah, too tricky, too risky.
What if they're both trying to throw? Then we'll just see some.
Yeah, because it's like,
Mexico is safe.
Yeah, first out of your group, you might face Korea. Oh, second out of your group, you might face Mexico. Those are going to be some tough teams. I don't think there's any teams that aren't tough that have made it so far. Italy, Norway, Mexico, Korea. That's tough.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to play any of them.
And it's top 4 live event, yeah, so that's going to be pretty sweet as well.
Yeah. I think that'll be awesome. But yeah, so good stuff obviously for Nation Wars. Just moving right along though, we did have the OSC championship, and we did want to do a quick recap of that, so let me go ahead and I'll bring that up for everyone to take a look at here. So you can see the overall bracket here. So we have the 1F and Psystorm, Bury Me, and Rival obviously get seeded, and then we had the in the losers bracket we started a little bit farther back. But as you can see, Exceed working their way through the bracket, having their work cut out for them, having to get all the way through everyone, and to finally playing Psystorm and actually taking Psystorm by a single game there.
Yeah, fantastic lower bracket run. They were challenged. There were definitely some really tight matches there. I think SYF Gaming versus Exceed was probably the highlight of the tournament. That went right down to the wire, and unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, there was some really long macro games, 45-minute games, like Seether versus Guru and Hut versus Guru, that really made it like an epic sort of 5-hour matchup. But yeah, really happy with the bracket, how it worked out. And credit to the guys, Pepe and Siegfried, for helping set this up, and really great finals. We had a lot of great casters covering it. It was a lot of work to try and get this set up so it fits in with everybody's time zone, and obviously not conflicting with the amount of events that were happening in February, WSG, IEM, Korea, WCS. There was just so much stuff happening, but the team were able to organise this at times that worked for everybody, so credit to them. And we had a really good final series, as I said. So yeah, looking to bring that back probably in the next couple of weeks, season 2018. Maybe a few changes there, but I've spoken with Pepe so far, and he's really sort of happy with the outcome of it, and pushing for another season. So we're going to support with that. So yeah, quite cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a great tournament, right? And it's a really good, like a long season format, right? And I think that's really nice for the players. It kind of helps keep informed. It's a little bit different than other online cups where you feel like there's not as much, but when there's, when it's just a long, term commitment for a tournament like this, you really got to put a lot more work into it. Check your lineups and making sure you got your best players available, for that week. And so I think that definitely sets it apart. And I think that's really cool.
I was really happy with the format that we created too. It's a slightly different scoring system. It combines both All Kill and Pro League. Yeah, so I was quite happy with that. It sort of guarantees that you have to play more than one player, or you can't rely upon an ace player. So we saw a lot of teams having to field 3, 4, 5 players, especially if it in the all kill sort of went 4 to 5 sort of thing. So that was good, because the big thing we're doing this team championship, you mentioned the long season, is that teams can pick up and support players, because we had a lot of money put towards the actual season prizes, sort of 1st to 6th. So that was to support teams who support players to play in tournaments, which is pretty much the backbone of StarCraft, right? So, and then we had this finals on top, Exceed won. Really happy with that, and they're quite happy with the prize. I think a lot of people sort of undervalued what we're giving. We obviously have the trophy, the cash, but we're also giving like 12 months of sponsorship and promotion. We're working with them to create a nice graphic that'll be shown on all streams and everything like that. So it's valued probably at a few $1,000s when you think about it like that. So
absolutely. You can guarantee that Scythe Esports will be playing in the next one. We'll be coming for that.
Yeah,
we'll be coming for that prize.
Yeah, for sure, nice. For sure. It's pretty low entry, and you got the ongoing data for every month you play in, right? So really you can take, as you should be doing, take the great work that your players actually do in tournaments, the results and the activity, and just utilize that to your advantage. That's what teams should be doing. We try and work with them to do that. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Other OSC great stuff. We did have the Masters Cup. Was it 110?
110 wrapped up over the weekend, yes. This was a WCS circuit event only. Obviously, if you're not familiar with it, we do one event WCS, one event open. And Poland looking very strong. Uthermal ended up being the winner, but
yeah, a lot of great Polish players there. Yeah, and ended up coming up against Seoul, who Seoul's been, I think Seoul's been in very good form as of late.
Yeah, he's working very hard. He's obviously very strong European Terran. Taking down some big names there like Mana, Bly, and Mio Micah, who's a dangerous opponent to anyone.
Yeah,
so absolutely. Great result for him.
Yeah, absolutely, and obviously a great tournament. I love the format, the round robin type format where everyone plays everyone. I love that. That you guys do that a little bit differently. I think that's really cool to see as far as like formatting goes. I like that it's not just you play you, and bracket style, but it's like everyone plays everyone in their groups, and you kind of do a round robin. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah, places emphasis on winning the map, so it's a best of 2. So you got one map each, your choice, no vetoes, and that's probably more doable for some up and comers, perhaps, or really close like a Showtime Nurture, whoever, might go 1-1, and that could be the difference between getting first in the group, third in the group, not getting into the playoffs. And somebody else, like pick X player, like someone like Sayak comes in and takes a map or two off someone, and that's great. And these events generally get quite good viewership, so it's good opportunity for those that maybe qualify through the qualifiers or earn an invite spot through other great results. And
Yeah.
$1,000 cups every 2 weeks.
Yeah, which is a great prize, obviously. But yeah, speaking of $1,000, some unfortunate news. Damon Knight, Filthy, aka Filthy Ray Coner of Sidestorm, announces about the Filthy Cup that this will be the last one. So the Filthy Cup Weekly will not be returning. He says, before I get into that, we'll say we'll hold one last global event with a guaranteed $1,000 prize pool to bid farewell. So unfortunate that he doesn't want to continue the Filthy Cup, but obviously, like, he's put so much money into the game. I mean, we definitely can't say that he hasn't done a lot for the community and for the players.
Yeah, absolutely. Running tournaments, putting money into tournaments, that's something that should be admired by anybody. And I think he mentioned somewhere on Twitter that just because his personal views on something like Nation Wars, he was getting like threats or, death threats or people having a go at him. And that's simply not on, really, especially for what he's done for the community,
right,
especially North America. And obviously he's a partner with Sidestorm, and that's a great team there. But running these tournaments for North American players, it's been great. Like we've worked with him on it, and it's just like nothing but positive things to say about him. And it's disappointing that it's come to that for him, but understandable. One big event, which is nice of him to finish it off. I'm looking forward to that. On our end, we'll probably look to continue the same sort of format and event ourselves, keep the torch going, sort of thing.
Right.
Because this year, if you're unfamiliar, it sort of moved to a better North American time slot, and we saw a lot more players competing in that. So it's really good for North America. And unfortunately, at the moment, also NA Ladder Heroes isn't up and running. So I think we need to continue to provide opportunities for the North American guys, access to points and exposure, etc. So we'll probably look at something like that. But big shout out to Damon. He done fantastic work for a long time now, and I hope he does, sort of come back in maybe another event like he did that. I got DQ'd from IEM. That was really fun. So hopefully he's got a few more ideas he can come back with. But top bloke, and unfortunately the Filthy Weekly no more.
Yeah, unfortunately, top lad, man, top lad. So, but yeah, like I said, all good things must come to an end, and like I said, there'll be something else that will they'll replace it, like you said. So there'll be more to come. So, one door closes and another one opens. That's how I always look at it. Next, we do want to take a look at our world rankings, and I believe these are the up to date for this year. We got 3 months, correct, Eddie?
Yeah, we're just into April now, so probably just under, because we started 2 weeks into January. The rankings are almost updated. I don't think Masters Cup 110, which would offer a lot of points, is updated yet, and maybe 2 or 3 tournaments over the last 24 hours, but it's fairly accurate. So maybe like Youth Thermal, Seoul, which are already ranked quite high, might be higher. So it's a good sample size. I think we're about 145 tournaments, and like 560 players have competed so far. So, and that was with a slow start to the season. We previously mentioned the team championship that took a lot of our casters and admins. So we had a slower start to the year. So it's still 145 tournaments, not bad. They're going to really ramp it up over the next quarter and into the mid part of 2018. So yeah,
absolutely. And real quick here, I kind of want to go over this top 15, right? And we'll obviously show more, but the top 15, some of these names really stand out. We got Solar at number 1, Jarpy, Romson, Starkiller, Soul, Uko, Future, BioIce, Euthermal, Cham, Hate Me, Guru, Vindicta, Mio Micah, and Halfbreed. Some of those names are really jumping out at me as like, wow. Like Romson. It's
an interesting mix, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. I think that's really cool that it's not so, kind of what you would expect, right? To see just like the top level players up there at the top, but to have a really good mix of some players that are definitely up and coming, I'd say, like someone like Future, obviously, or even someone who's been around for a while, like BioWaste. It's good to see him, in that 8th place spot. So I think it's really cool to see some of those players, and obviously that someone like, of course, you would expect to be at the top, like Cham, one of Mexico's best Zerg players. Of course, you can't count him out. So I think it's cool just the broad range that we're seeing in that.
And some of the numbers that those players are putting in to obviously get that ranking, Yuko has been super impressive with 65 tournaments, maybe a couple more that haven't been added there. That's really impressive. And we mentioned that so much was happening in February with the major events, WESG, IM, and et cetera, et cetera. That's probably why we haven't seen your Neebs, your Scarlet come into it yet. So expect those guys, maybe less tournaments in April, May, to start competing a bit more and shake up the rankings a little bit. So these guys that you mentioned, top 15, really good start. And hopefully they can keep it up for the rest of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. Next, we'll go south of the border. Obviously, that's a lot of different players, but we'll head down to Mexico for the Sentimental Latino. So Darkin can be our resident expert about what's been going on with that.
Well, we got two experts here.
Yeah.
So yeah, Sentimental Latino has been running now for 10 weeks now. Mm-hmm. We had 1 week break for another tournament that happened briefly on the same day. So we skipped 1 week, but yeah, it's been running for 10 weeks now, and I in my opinion, I think it's been successful. I don't know what Eddie thinks, but the player turnout has been pretty good. Mm-hmm. Around 16 players each tournament, some more, some less. The first one, I think we had like 38 or something like that. It was a pretty good number, since it was only a small region. But yeah, it's been pretty cool. Every Friday, I've been watching it and I've been enjoying it. And this is exactly what I think Latin America needed, because outside of Copa and WCS, there were like very few, very sparse tournaments here and there.
Right.
And now that we have a weekly tournament with actual prize money, I think many players, many up-and-coming players are really showing up every week. Like Jarpi. Jarpi is right now second place in the OSC points. He's been playing in basically almost all of the Sentimental Latino and a lot of other OSC tournaments. He's everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is pretty cool, pretty excellent. And you can start to see like the up-and-comers Latin Americans who then maybe can put some work so they can beat Cham, Special, and Kelasur. Maybe one day see them in WCS.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, one thing that I noticed right away is, we do have some multi-time winners like Jim Rising winning 4, but I like that it's Jarpy, Halfbreed, Eric, Jim, Eggs, they've all won. So they've all been able to take games off of each other. So it's really good to see that it's very spirited, right? Like someone's not just running away with everything, but it's actually a good competition.
And we have a great English cast organised to do this event weekly. I think 9 out of 10 of them are Jordan. Jordan's been casting. So how do you find the games, mate? You're the one in there watching these guys compete.
Jordan, would you say? Would you say they're muy caliente?
On some accounts, there are some players who they'll throw some random builds out there, but I think one of the biggest things for me, coming from somebody who's specifically followed North American StarCraft and then GSL, and that was about it, getting to actually break into the Latin American scene has been eye-opening. Just because you generally hear is like, okay, they have Cham and Jim Rising and Special, and that's about it. But that's not even a little bit true. There are so many good players in the Latin American scene, and one of the biggest things to touch back to Nation Wars, Chile ended up not getting to play, and who are the Chilean players who always make it? Darking will know. I think Jarpy is one of them, right?
Jarpy and Halbrief are the top 2 Chilean players, and then there's Gaston, a Protoss that he recently qualified for this next Copa. So yeah, there is. Chile is one of the countries with most active players right now. With Jarpy, Halfrey are like the top 2.
Yeah, Jarpy has won 1 Sentimental Latino, and he's gotten runner-up in 4. Halfbreed's won 3 and got a runner-up in 1. So they're both repeat finalists on that one. So I feel like those are going to be the players to watch out for moving forward. But yeah, the games, honestly, to tell them apart from the like the top of the NA scene, you wouldn't be able to tell them apart at all. The games are just as good. And I feel like um, a lot of people maybe it felt like I did. It was like, oh, maybe the Latin American scene doesn't have as good players, and that's why we don't hear about it as much. But I mean, in my experience, it's just been probably, if I had to imagine, the absence of a tournament that
Right.
put the NA viewers in front of Latin American players playing StarCraft, and that the Sentimiento Latino has been able to change that.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think there was just a lack of opportunity, and this is really bringing them to the forefront and showing off some of the, like a lot of the time we hear, oh, who's that up and coming NA player, and it's like, when we should be saying, who's that up and coming South American player, right?
Yeah.
So, or Central American player, because we have a lot of great players, from, globally that we, and that's one region that, like you guys are saying, that it's really underrepresented. So it's really nice to see that, they're getting some attention that they deserve, and we're able to see these guys in some of these tournaments.
Latin America problem has always been the lack of resource. So now that we have a tournament in English that people can see, then maybe some foreign teams can pick up these players. Like recently, that Meliora got X and Team Rising. That's pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, eggs and
yeah. Shout out to them too at Meliora, because they're really active on social media and support their players in the event as well. So yeah, that's quite a pleasing thing to see.
Absolutely. So yeah, hopefully one of these other guys get picked up, and can start playing for a bigger team. I think that would be awesome to see. Obviously, Jarpy plays for Dust. I think Halfbreed does as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of those guys, but some of these other guys, definitely worth the opportunity and maybe taking the risk on, to see how they might develop.
And there's a lot of good things happening in Latin America as well at the moment. Our friend here, Jim Rising, does the Taco Cups, and Darking mentioned that other tournament, I think NS.
LNS.
Yeah. A Chilean run tournament, yeah. So that was good. So another Latin American tournament, access to points and viewership, and yeah. So I think 2018 is looking quite good for the region. These cups show how close in skill a lot of the players are with it, sharing the wins, etc. So yeah, good stuff. Really happy with it. Participation started off really high and it's dropped a little bit there, but still decent enough for a locked regional event. Perhaps I'd like to see a bit more Brazilian activity. On last year's data, Brazil was, I think, third or fourth highest country for participation in the league, and unfortunately we've barely seen any in this compared to that. So maybe time zones, I'm not sure, daylight savings has just changed again, but that's something we could work on. I'd like to see improvement there.
I asked around with a couple of Brazilian friends, but they couldn't tell me why. But because the time is perfect. It's like 9 p.m. on a Friday.
Right.
So I don't know. Maybe it's the language barrier. Maybe there is not enough. What's the word? We're not sharing the tournament enough in the Brazilian community. I don't know.
Yeah, that's something we can continue to work towards improving that.
And then we did have a nice article written here from Topin about the upcoming, so I went ahead and I linked that in the chat. So go ahead and guys check that out. That's a good little read for you if you're curious a little bit more about these Latin American events. So take a look at that. That's a really cool article.
Yeah, this is fantastic. A community member sort of doing a recap on a tournament series on a monthly basis. That's fantastic. I love this, and highlights the players. Participation, looks at everybody like that, and it's done in English as well, which I believe is not his native tongue. So credit there as well. Fantastic.
Yeah, it's very fantastic.
Absolutely. Next, we do have Copa America 2018 Season 1 coming. We do have a couple players that have already been announced for participants. Our sole Protoss player. So unfortunately, what's up with Latin America and Protoss? They're just not they're not big Protoss players there.
I don't know. I don't know really. I think the problem is not that we don't have Protoss. It's that we don't have good Protoss.
Well, that's what I'm
That's
saying. I
the
mean,
issue.
what if we took all these Terran players and had them play Protoss? I mean, there could be so many Neebs, hiding among them, right?
Perhaps, but yeah, this is, I don't know. It's just what it is. We usually get one, maybe two protos each season. I remember a season a few years ago where there was literally zero protos all tournament, so it happens. Latin America has always been a Zerg majority region with some pretty strong Terran players,
Right.
and like a couple of protos at most.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking at these brackets, I mean, this is crazy. Looking at how good some of these players are. I mean, we've got Special, Smile, Kellizer, Jarpy, Cham, Eggs, Eric, Halfbreed, Ryu. I mean, those are some really good players. So, I mean, we're definitely in for a treat as far as watching that go. So, hopefully, we'll get an English cast for this as well, then, so that we can, so that we'll all be able to enjoy the Copa America. Which hopefully they do. And I think the WCS is pretty good about offering multilingual streams. I think someone just has to volunteer to take the reins. So,
Yeah.
So Jordan, maybe get on that. I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna volunteer you for that.
Vaughn told me to find foreign language casters for the Sentimiento Latino.
For Copa America, for you to cast Copa America for the English cast.
They had one, I think it was probably like a year or two ago now, and I was just like, man, that should be me. But
Now
this
it
is
could
like
be.
really early in my
Could.
casting career, and I don't know
Could be
how.
good. I'm pretty sure you just have to ask. Maybe they say yes.
All
I don't
right.
tell you who to ask.
You've got it in with one
Hello,
of the,
people.
yeah, exactly. So you could definitely.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Darking could help me out with that. Yeah. I like that idea.
Looking at it, you're one of the most qualified for the position by your work in the region anyway. So you good understanding of the players. So you should go for it.
Familiar with them.
Yeah. No, definitely. Darking and I'll have to get on that as soon as the show's over. Or the cast is over. Gosh.
He's like, good idea, Toast. Thank you for making me pay attention to what you were saying, because could have missed out on that. Anyway, but yeah, so great games, obviously. Just to give you guys a quick look at that bracket here one more time, just to take a look at the participants so far, and I'm sure we'll see some other names thrown in there, as we get a little bit closer.
The group doesn't start until the 18th, I believe, of this month. April 18th. So there's still a couple of weeks so that people can do other things. And yeah, this is gonna be great. I think this is a great lineup. There are mostly the names one will expect to see in a Copa America.
Mm-hmm.
I want to give a special shout out to Darkon Name because this is his first Copa America appearance. So this is great for him. Win a little more notoriety.
Yeah, a lot of cool stuff. But yeah, and then we also have a lot of the other qualifiers coming up here as well. I know that we'll have the IM Sydney coming right up. I can't remember the exact date on that, but then all the other challenges are happening. Obviously, we just had for NA, the challenger through the ladder get locked, so we found out the 4 that were qualifying for that. And then Taiwan and Japan have a kind of a different format where I think Rex tweeted about it, where it's like just a best of 1. Did you guys?
Yeah, I saw the tweet. It's like single elimination qualifier, single elimination playoff bracket, something like that, which is sort of disappointing for the what's on offer. It's a huge event and opportunity for I think 2 players to go to WCS, and
they get 2 slots.
maybe matched up in the first half of the qualifier bracket even. So that's unfortunate. And looking quite different than every other region, right? EU and North America with the ladder qualifiers and all this was fantastic, and the countdown I saw, Fear Dragon, chasing the ladder games and everything like that came down to the wire. Kane, the comeback of Kane just missed out. And same with Europe, that was a good one. And you said IM Sydney.
Yeah, Philandros.
He does great work.
The EU broadcast that I think he had Thermal on and Optimus, and they were kind of doing the same thing live, kind of seeing who was gonna come down to. So very cool, thing for them to do as well. So shout out to both Fear Dragon and him for doing something like that. Very cool.
And my region is actually ANZC is going to be included in the IEM Sydney huge CS:GO event. So that's a great opportunity for StarCraft there. Live finals in Sydney, May 5th, I believe. I might be able to head up for that. That'd be cool.
Nice.
My birthday weekend. So hopefully some great games for all the guys.
Birthday, yeah, absolutely. And I suppose we'll probably see the return of Maynard and Zeph and maybe even Moonglade for that, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I hope so. There's a lot of good ANZ casters. You can throw in some other names like Death, the boys on our channel, and Nancy Vodge.
Yeah.
So you're not going to be short on talent.
There's plenty of talent,
Hopefully they're all there.
100%. Yeah, even someone like Wolf, right, who does casting as well. So there's definitely a bunch of people who are definitely capable. Absolutely. What's up?
Yeah,
what's up with Australia and New Zealand having good casters? What's going on with that?
Yeah, Pig as well. We didn't
man.
mention Pig.
Exactly. Well, we never forget about him, right? But he's on his own. He's on his own planet. Planet Pig. But I don't know. Man, apparently, Australia's just maybe it's just that you can't go outside, right? So many things will kill you. You just gotta stay in and cast StarCraft all day.
That might be it.
I just got to get some sort of Australian joke in. But yeah, super cool. Yeah, and then we also had the OSC stream support winners. Eddie, did you kind of want to cover what that was?
Yeah, so every month we have a giveaway on this stream for people who support the channel, subscriber, donation, a few bits, everything like that. That includes OSC Elite jersey, 4 months free subscription. So there's a raffle, so whatever you do, one subscriber gives you 1 point in the raffle. And that's drawn monthly, and we had our three winners since we've been in 3 months of the year now, obviously, and that was Diesel Max Power in January, Maynard in February, and the last one's a bit funny. It was Eddie SC2 in March.
So it was you.
Yes, it was me. I was gifted a sub on the last day of the month by Montium, and so I had one lottery ticket in the raffle. I think there's about 50 names in the hat, and mine came out. It was a good laugh. Unfortunately, I'm probably not going to benefit from it as much as other people, but there you go.
Hey, that's still pretty cool. That's very funny. So that's a good time.
No cheating. I have the screenshot. I promise you. I'm more than happy for other people to win. Believe me. So
right.
It was quite funny.
Right. Another OSC news from OSC Elite. We bid farewell to Haas, who was no longer with the team. So we wish him the best of luck in his opportunities and going forward. Yeah,
his contract expired, and we parted ways, as you do sometimes in business. All the best to him. He offered a lot of fun games for our fans and his fans, obviously. So I wish him well.
Absolutely. And then, yeah, just to keep it on the topic of Australia, we have the ANZ Pro League currently happening, which is really fun to watch. It's on a terrible time for me, but I try to tune in as much as I possibly can. But, yeah, an absolute amazing tournament. And here's the breakdown so far. So, yeah, we have Moonglade, Zeph, and Maynard casting. So if there wasn't incentive enough to watch these great players, you also have some great casters to watch with that. But yeah, we have our teams: Rise Esports, Downfall Gaming, Legacy Esports, OSC Elite, and SYF Gaming. We'll take a look at the standings right now. And SYF currently on top, going 3 and out. Just really wrecking face as of late. So good for them.
Yeah, they were last season's winner, actually. I think everybody sees them as the team to beat. Such a strong, experienced lineup. The oldest team in the region too. So, yeah, but they've been pushed like every single series, which is great. Often 3-2, 3-1 sort of thing. And the rest of the 4 teams, I think there's nothing between them. Like, it's going to be really close even this last week. Probably, I think Downfall are out, but the next 3, someone could finish second. So that'll be Wednesday, tomorrow night my time. So OSC Elite versus Rise, that may well determine who comes second. So yeah, some good matchups are out for that already. I think it's Mio Micah versus Igers and yours versus Demilove to start. So that'll be really close. And who's the other matchup? Oh, SYFS Legacy. So you're
Yeah.
talking like someone like Pro versus Hart, you know, Crimson, Mighty Kiwi. Crimson's undefeated in Pro League, actually, so he's the man to beat.
Yeah, very
And
cool.
Chase for Ace. Chase, a really good player who doesn't always get to be fielded, but he's someone to watch out for Z to Z as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, a lot of great players, playing in that pro league. So, guys, make sure you tune into that. Otherwise, you can catch their VODs through the ANZ Pro League Twitch page. So you're keeping up on, There's so much StarCraft to watch. Like I know you don't need to give you more, to tune in for, but that's the nice thing is there's always more if you want it. So if Korean StarCraft isn't enough and NA StarCraft isn't enough, we got great Latin American scene. We've got the great Australian New Zealand scene as well. So there's just plenty to go around. Yeah. Other news, Storm has will no longer be sponsoring OSC for 2018. So kind of bidding farewell to them for now.
Yeah, a long-running partnership unfortunately comes to an end. No ill will or anything. Big shout out particularly to KJ and Damon for their help over the years. They're got some big things in the work behind the scenes that they're focusing on. So it's not a matter of just ditching OSC. We're actually really performing well. They've got some cool things that they're working on at the moment. So hope that works out for them. It's not going to really, no disrespect, not going to impact us too much anyway. So, yeah, just it'll be a shame not to be working with the guys because I value them more as people than any sort of contribution. They were really good for us, and we'll continue probably to work with them as a team as we do with other teams. So, yeah, no longer we're gonna probably have to redo our banners and stuff, but that's fine. Yeah. So thank you, Saislong.
Absolutely. And yeah, that pretty much brings us pretty much near to the end of the show here. We did want to show the winners of the last couple tournaments, so I'll go ahead and show you our list here. So there's the winners of the last couple OSC events. So we have the Proxy Tempest EU Open, OSC Weekly, OSC Melee Forte win on that one. That's a name I haven't seen for a while. So kind of
he beat Parting actually, who's on a bit of a comeback as well. So a couple of Koreans there.
Fantastic, yeah. Forte, I actually thought he retired. So I haven't seen him for a while. But then someone like Cham winning, Antis is another name that's nice to see someone who's been playing a lot as of late. I see Romson, Gerald, some good EU players, Vindicta, and then yeah, Demi, Zugliang, a couple wins, Max Seed. So good variety, right? Good, very good variety of nationalities of our players here for these tournaments. I think that's one of the greatest things about OSC. Is no matter where you live, there's some sort of an opportunity for you to play.
Tournaments, every region, almost every day, and obviously the mixing between the regions as well. So opportunities for everybody to get points, and it's nice to see a good variety of winners as well. So. Yeah, more to come.
Absolutely. And then lastly here, to finish it off, we did have a community question, which was, who is the most underrated player / personalities in our opinion? Let's start with Darking.
Okay, I from Latin America, so of course I have to give a shout out to my Latin American peeps.
Right.
I think the one most up-and-comer Latin American, besides Special Girls of Cham, that to keep an eye on is Jarpy. Jarpy has been playing fantastically everywhere. He's been not only in Sentimental Latino, I see him playing on a lot of the other OCS Cup, especially the Plati something, Plati Pro. But yeah, for me, Jarpy is my #1 pick. Player to keep an eye on. Really good.
Gotcha. And then
yes.
Oh, go ahead, Eddie.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, I asked you guys to maybe give a top 5 of your players, since we also touched on it's the end of the first 3 months of the season. So maybe some names that jump out at you who've had a really good start to the year, whether performance or sort of rising star. So yeah, maybe Jordan, you got some names?
Yeah, I was gonna definitely pick Jarpy as well, just because he plays so well. I feel like I've said this time and time again when I cast him, but in his TVZ, the things that he does with ghosts, as far as making sure that EMPs always reach out and touch infestors and sniping every dinosaur, every broodlord, it's absolutely amazing. His ghost control is a lot better than, I don't know, even some pro players that I've seen. Like, of course, maybe not. I mean, Maru is Maru, but just below Maru in terms of ghost control, I feel like would be Jarpy. And that's where typically a lot of Terrans struggle. If I had some other players that I would want to touch base on, there's two EU Protoss players. Romson, I actually looked up his Wikipedia the first time I started casting him in random tournaments for many different organizations, and he was active back early Heart of the Swarm, if I remember correctly, and then he's just now coming back. But like we said earlier, he's towards the top of the OSC rankings right now because he's playing in absolutely everything that he can stay awake for. And I check his time zone; he's staying awake till 2, 3, 4 a.m. playing in tournaments. Another EU Protoss that came back from about the same era, his name is Lisandro. I don't think he's playing as much as Romson is, but I think it was Lisandro that actually took a game off of Solar with a 2-base Charge Lot Archon all in that Solar scouted and prepared for, and he still took the game. Much to my surprise, that's for sure. No other real names come to mind. Future, I was 100% sure should have been voted into Nation Wars and wasn't. Probably based on popularity. He's not nearly as popular as Neeb or Avalo or M. Canning. But Aligulac ratings don't lie. And he's really high up there. He plays in a lot of different events, or at least he used to. I don't think he's been playing in as much in the recent month or two. But he's definitely one of the top up-and-coming NA talents that we're going to need to watch out for in the coming months, especially as he recently had a birthday and is going to be once again finally able to compete in WCS events. He actually just qualified for Challenger through the ladder qualifier that just ended. So
Right.
Yeah. Future is actually one of my picks as well, along with Ramson. I see those two players a lot lately, and I'm really excited to see what Future can do now that he has the age requirement to play in WCS. He, along with Raynor, is the two players that I'm most watching. Like, I want to see him play now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Does anyone
used
know
to
when Raynor Pro 16?
I thought he just did. Did he not?
Oh,
What was it? I missed it. What was the question?
when does Raynor turn 16?
July 1st.
Yep, there you go.
So close. So close.
Yeah.
Right around the
But
So
yeah.
close.
Future is one
Yeah.
of my picks. Ramson is also one of my picks. I want to give also a shout out to X, the Colombian set player. You know, he's been doing like really good lately in San Tortino. We saw him recently with the IEM in Korea. I think he can do better. He needs a little bit more practice, but he has a great practice partner with Jim Rising, his teammate. So X, I think, is another player to keep an eye on.
Toast, you got a few names?
Well, I was definitely going to say Romson. That was obviously one of my picks. I'd say also Uko, another player playing for Revolution who's just an absolutely everything that I see. Anytime I'm looking for one of my players to play in something and I'm looking at the bracket, he's already signed up. So he's just playing absolutely everything. I'd also say someone like Vindicta, someone who maybe had a previous bad reputation, who's really working hard to prove that that he's a good player, and then he's trying his best to kind of put that bad reputation behind him. Yeah. Other than that, kind of what these guys said, I'd absolutely have to agree. Maybe the only other one I might add is like someone like a Ninja, who I think plays very well. Actually, only plays for Psystorm Community, but definitely I think could at least be playing for like their B team. Just needs a couple of tweaks here and there, but every time I watch him play, I'm surprised with by a game or two. So I think his progress is coming along very nicely. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing what he can do.
Yeah, I think I've got a lot of the same names. My top 5 standouts for the year is Solar. We haven't mentioned Solar, but previous champion, ranked number 1, has won 12 tournaments. He's beast mode at the moment. We said Jarpy, who's shown insane improvement. Rompson, who's come out of nowhere to be claiming bounties, winning tournaments. Yuko, who's a machine, just playing in everything. And Sol is another one for me, who's won a lot of tournaments and taking big names as well. And for rising talent, we said Vindicta, who's performing well. Antis. So they're two newish NA names. Ninja, you said. I think he's shown great improvement, taking maps, performing a lot better. He's someone who's played in the OSC circuit for a while, but now he's at last count ranked 28 in the rankings, and coming up on 50 tournaments played. He's shown great improvement. Barbarossa, he's played in a lot of tournaments, takes maps as well. He's someone I can see improving. And someone who's on a fairly high level already, but B, the Russian Zerg player, he's taking a lot of maps and performing in things like Masters Cups. So I expect him to rise in the rankings soon. They're just 5 names, obviously, out of a lot of players, but yeah, it's really great to see the improvement from those guys.
Yeah, absolutely. So guys, if you have questions, feel free to tweet anywhere would you like them to tweet at OSC for their community questions or fan questions.
Yeah, just tweet at the OSC Esports Twitter, or obviously we have a Discord. A lot of people in there. Just leave some questions. We'll either answer it on the next show or to you immediately. Not a problem there. Yeah, the link to the Discord, I think it's on this page here. Otherwise, on SC2 Online, it'll be up the top, which is our website, where you can also go to find all tournaments happening every day. We have one coming up in 15 minutes, casted by Jordan, the weekly wager.
We gotta get out of here.
That's it. We're on the clock.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah.
And yeah, thank you guys for joining us today, Jordan and Darking. Thank you very much for your input and everything that you both do for the community. You know, you definitely both don't get enough praise for the things that you do, but I'm telling you here and now that I appreciate you both.
Thank you.
Yeah, so can you guys maybe share your Twitter, maybe share your stream, something like that?
Sure, I'll start. I'm on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube at the same handle, X Jordan X. It's not spelled out there. I'll put it in chat.
What's your
It's
Skype?
just my name and
I know
Twitch.
you use Skype a lot. Like
were you listening to my?
That's the best way to get hold of you, right?
Were you listening to the last few seconds of my stream
Yeah,
where I
I
was
was.
like, I hate Skype so much. Okay. Yeah, it locked me out. Didn't have my right password and gave me a really hard time getting back in. But yeah, my name and Twitch is the same on YouTube and Twitter, and I only put StarCraft content in all of those places. So if you're looking for a new StarCraft 2 content creator and you haven't heard of me, hi. Follow, like, subscribe. You know what to do.
It all helps.
Did
guys.
some great interviews at the recent Cheesadelphia LAN as well. I watched those. They were great. So.
Oh my gosh, I've only done half of them, and Cheesadelphia is already so old. I've just been busy with
I know.
casting and other stuff.
You're
But
gonna have to do Austin here pretty soon.
I don't think I'm going to be able to get to Austin, unfortunately.
Well, I got your back. I'm going, so I'll be sure to do a couple in-person interviews when I'm down there.
Yes.
Yeah. What about you, Darking?
So yeah, you can follow me on Twitter. I'm at Darking665. I tweet mostly about StarCraft, mostly about Latin American StarCraft. So if you wanna know, when a tournament starts, if you wanna know about the players and all kind of stuff, you can contact me at Darking665 on Twitter. Also, I urge everyone to use and help a little with Wikipedia. It's a great tool that I think everyone here agrees that it's an excellent site for everyone. Like every time I see someone and they say, "Oh yeah, I'm Wikipedia," I'm like, "Oh man, the website is awesome. I use it all the time." So I urge everyone to use it. And it's a wiki, so everyone can
Contribute.
edit it. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's it.
absolutely. Like I said, you're an unsung hero. One of those behind-the-scene people that that should be getting more attention. So, guys, make sure I want you all to tweet at Darking and just let him know how much you appreciate him. I think that's something fun we could do. Make sure that people know, like, this guy's doing a lot of work for us. So, maybe take the 2 seconds, to give him a follow and maybe to tweet at him and tell him that you appreciate what he does for us.
Definitely.
All right, but yeah, that's all we got for you today. So yeah, stay tuned to the channel. In about 10 minutes, we're gonna have the weekly wager. Was it?
Yes.
Perfect. And Jordan will be casting that. So I'm going to sign off so that he can go ahead and take over. But be sure to stick around for that, and we will see you guys in like 10 minutes.
See you guys.
See ya.